Welcome to Living Life with James, the podcast where real stories and real conversations help us to make sense of life. From personal journeys to expert advice, each episode gives you something useful, whether it's a new way to think about things, a helpful tip, or just a reminder that you're not in this alone. Let's keep growing, keep connecting, and keep living life together.
Today, I'm sitting with Krisan and Gina. Gina is the mother of TJ and the grandmother of baby TJ. Krisan is the wife of TJ and the mother of baby TJ. Our family story has been shared across social media and covered by local and national news. But today's conversation isn't about the headlines. Today's conversation is about what life looks like next and now and what happens. So thank you, Gina and Krisan, for both being here. Today we're talking about grief and love and the what's next in our lives. So I appreciate you guys being here and sharing a part of the story. So what I want to get into before we go any further, people that may not know the story, I would love to hear whatever you guys are both comfortable with sharing at this point. Maybe telling the listeners and the people that are watching this a little bit about the story and what got us here to this point. Whatever feels right. Whatever feels right. Around loss,
yeah.
around TJ.
So the story is in October 11th, TJ was out at a bar with some friends and there was an altercation. And his friends and him tried to walk away from it, and somebody came up behind TJ and hit him in the head and pushed him down. It made him fall, basically. Mm-hmm. And that was that evening. And next thing we know, we get a phone call and TJ's in the hospital. And we all know what happened after that. Mm-hmm. You know, he was pronounced brain dead, and we lost him that next day.
That's been the story, and now we're talking about three months later. 3 months mm-hmm. later. For anyone that is listening, you're going to hear, and I love the fact we have baby TJ. He is now part of our family and born 2 months ago in November. You're going to hear him in the background. He will not be on the camera, but he is here in the room with us as we talk about our family story and the what's next and how the two of you have been moving forward and coping and dealing with loss and the what's next.
Right.
So I would love to hear from both of you. I'm going to ask you the same question. Okay. It's kind of like fill in the blank. Finish these 3 sentences as honestly as you can. Before TJ died, my life felt like...
Complete.
Krisan?
Whole. Yeah, complete. Good one.
Right now, my life feels like...
I have a lonely hole that's not filled.
There's just a lot of uncertainty.
Lots of things up in
unsafe, unsettling.
And sitting with that, what that looks like moving forward. And what I'm learning to live with is.
What grief looks like what loss looks like, what this hole in our family is now.
I think I would agree with that. It's a lot of, you feel like before grief hits you, you have this ignorant understanding of what grief is, and then it hits you so close to home that you have to learn how to get through it, how to heal and grow, and it's not easy.
It's not easy. What's something about grief that surprised you as you're going through this? Something that no one really prepares you for?
For me, I would say it's how it hits you. It just hits you in waves. It's like one day you wake up and you feel okay, and then maybe 30 minutes later, you're crying for you don't even know.
Yeah.
It could be anything,
It
right?
just- yeah.
And I think for me, that's what it's been. It's just been this like wave of emotions where I just feel like, okay, I can do this.
Yeah.
And then the next moment I'm like, what is going on? You know? So yeah, I would just say the wave of emotions.
Loss in general, right? And
Mm-hmm.
not only loss in general, but we're talking about for a son
Mm-hmm.
to lose a child. We're talking about a husband, a father. And to your point, I prepared myself. I'm ready. I got questions. I can't wait to do this and sit down with the two of you. And boom, it could be a word you say.
Mm-hmm.
It could be a question you're asked, and it will hit you. And there's no preparing.
Mm-hmm.
And you said it beautifully. It comes in waves and how you deal with it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Krisan, is there something that kind of surprised or shocked or you've learned as you're going through this grieving process now, 3 months later?
I feel like everybody who reaches out to me always says, like, grief gets better with time. And I feel like with time, it just becomes more apparent just how deep of a loss that it was. And just how everyday life has changed. Like, waking up in the morning is not the same. Going to work is not the same. Grocery shopping, like, just how deep of a loss it is, I guess.
Grief doesn't warn you. It comes from many different places. And this also highlights the topic that I think it's important for other people to hear. Some people don't know what to say. And the one thing that I always say in coaching and in therapy, I would never tell someone it gets better or it gets better with time. And I think we know now, living it, that is not the case. I always tell people grief looks differently.
Yeah.
You could be doing well for a month, 2 months, and it's the grocery shopping that hits you, right? I had a client, God, like 10 years ago, and she said, my sister has been gone for, this was 10 years ago, and it was probably like 10 years. She said, I got a phone call, and something just clicked in my brain. And she said, 10 years later, she was like, oh my God, it's my sister. Let me run and grab. And it hit her like a ton of bricks. And she was like, oh my God, she's not here. So it doesn't get better. It looks different and it shifts, right? It's definitely unpredictable, right?
Very.
The story was very public for a while. What would you say, what changed emotionally when the camera stopped, when social media, when friends are maybe not in the midst of everything anymore?
I think you sit with it differently. You know, I think when it all came out, it was just, it's there, right? Everybody's seeing it. Everybody's talking about it. You're getting bombarded
It's
with
constant,
calls.
yeah.
And then all of a sudden it's like the dust settles and like everybody's life goes back to normal, but our life is not normal, right? We're learning a new normal. What does that look like? I don't know. It still doesn't look, I still don't know what it looks like.
What has it looked like when the dust settled for you?
Lonely. You know, I didn't see him every day, but I did talk to him almost every single day. So it's like those moments of like, for me, it's the realization. And I even said it today to somebody, I don't even know who it was, but I'm realizing as time goes on, like, I'm never going to see him. I'm never going to hold him. I'm never going to hear him. You know, looking at a picture is looking at a picture, but then all it does is bring all these memories back of his laugh and who he was. And looking at this little guy, and I just cry because he doesn't get to know the perfect man that his dad was. And I just like, I look at that and I'm just like, it's such a loss for him, but he's not even going to know it's a loss. We know it is.
Yeah.
He will never even know that. And I just hope he's there with him and he does
Absolutely.
know him. You
Absolutely.
know? I really do. Because I feel bad. I feel sad for him. Really.
You saying that, it's almost like the quiet hits. And the quiet is almost louder than what all the noise was in the beginning. When you're alone by yourself, when you're just sitting with him, it's almost like that's more difficult than when you have all the noise around you and when we were going through the thick of things.
Yep.
You're not distracted anymore.
Yeah.
And then the voices in your head just start talking and saying, wow. Like, I tell Mom all the time, every time, like, he has a poopy diaper or he spits up on us or he does something funny, like, all I can think about is, wow, TJ would love this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That was my moment. I was blessed and honored and so excited to have time and Uncle babysit baby TJ the other day. And those were my moments.
Yeah.
Wish TJ was here seeing us right now. Yeah.
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 And just like looking at him, like
He looks so
just
like-
looks so much
so
like
much
him.
like
So
him.
like
Yeah.
for me, it's this surreal moment, right?
Yeah.
Because I see him and I hold him and I see my son. Like, I don't mean it that way, but
No,
you know what
Yeah.
I
I
mean.
know. He
Like,
looks just like him.
He looks like him.
every
It's a part of him.
day he looks more and more like him. Pictures, like just mannerisms. Like, you know, TJ used to smack his lips when he was tired. I'm sure you remember that.
Yeah.
He does that every once in a while, and I'm just like, oh my gosh. Like,
Yeah.
so,
It's living through a different lens now,
yeah.
right?
Mhm.
And right now it's more difficult. But seeing things and how we make that life shift,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
I mean, loss definitely shifts and changes everyone. And loss looks different, clearly, when you lose. I mean, loss is loss.
Mm-hmm.
When you lose a son or a husband, right? Or the father of your child, it looks a lot different. And I guess I'm curious, what has grief changed for you guys at this point with maybe how you see people or yourself?
I feel like so much. It's changed. I feel like it like flipped my world completely upside down. All the little things that used to bug me don't bug me anymore. The stupid arguments don't mean anything anymore. Like there's just no point in it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
The people that I love and that love me and show up and support. I think that just leaning on people more, realizing that not every day is promised.
Mm-hmm.
So just
Your perspective and your awareness of how people are there for you and the way that you kind of put things in order for yourself or how you interact with people or how other people interact with you,
Mm-hmm.
right?
mhm.
We say it a lot, actually, at home. We just like, the little stuff doesn't matter anymore. Like, I think that's been big for us. And I think we've grown a lot together, and I think we're each other's rock now.
Mhm.
And we don't fight.
It just changed.
There's no reason anymore. Like, and we say it all the time, like, it's petty stuff and there's no reason to, and we just communicate and we're there for each other and we help each other out, and we like, I think our mind just shifted in so many different ways, because like she said, it's like it's little stuff that doesn't matter.
But that's what grief does.
Yeah.
And I hate that we even had to get to this place to see and feel and realize that.
Right.
But that's what grief has done to the both of you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What has the loss of TJ while having little baby TJ, what has that been like for you guys? You're grieving the loss of your son, of your husband, while caring for your grandson, your baby. What has that looked like?
It's like sad and happy at the same time. Like
Mixed emotions.
It's a weird mix of, like I said, I mean, there's 1 minute I'm feeding him or changing his diaper and just getting him to laugh and smile. And then the next minute I'm like laying down, like just looking at him crying. You know, like, I wish that your dad could be here. And I wish that I could see him be the dad that we all knew he would have been, you know? And
Holding both true at the same time.
yeah, I
Right.
just feel like he was robbed of it and he's robbed of it. And now we just all have to come together and join forces and be that strength for him.
Be that family, be that community, that village that raises an absolutely amazing young man.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Krisan,
Yep.
as his mom, what has that been like for you with him and caring for him and taking care of a newborn baby, all while grieving T?
I agree. It's definitely very bittersweet. Obviously, he's absolutely perfect.
As we all look over at
I
him,
know.
I wish you,
Looking at him.
I wish you guys could see our beautiful little view of this perfect little baby, just sleeping and smiling and.
Mm-hmm.
He is perfect. I think that without him, I would be an absolute mess. Like, he is my reason to live right now. He's my reason to just keep going and keep pushing, because if mom raised TJ to be the perfect man that he is, then
You're doing it.
I'm gonna try.
You're doing it. Yeah.
But I do think that not only did TJ get robbed, but baby TJ got robbed, because all TJ wanted in this life was to be a dad, because he never had one.
People don't realize when they think about grieving and the loss and the death is clearly the biggest part. You're grieving the death of TJ, but what people don't think about and realize, you're now grieving the life that you could have had, or the life that he's going to miss.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which I think might be a little bit, not that they're comparable at all, but I think that that's probably what hits me the hardest, is grieving like everything that we had planned and everything that we were going to do and how we were going to raise our son. And
Shock.
Yeah.
And that process of recalibrating. What is my life now? What is this moment while I'm still grieving, while I'm still raising a child? What is this going to look like for me now? And uncertainty, an unknown, right? And you're navigating a lot.
Yeah, we all are.
I guess I'm curious, what does the grieving feel like in terms of pressure from other people, from yourself, what this needs to look like, what it should look like? How has that been? Where do you feel the most pressure from others, from yourself, to grieve maybe in a certain way, if at all?
I don't feel like I'm pressured in any way to grieve a certain way. I think everybody's been really, what's the word? Just sympathetic and empathetic. I think the people around me, they know if I have a hard day, I can talk about it, and they're there if I need them. Nobody's telling me like, all right, it's been 3 months, you should be fine now.
Yeah.
I think, I've learned to speak up when I'm having a bad day and, share with friends and family, or call somebody and just say, listen, I'm just having a day. I'm having a moment, I think I had one the other day, and I didn't come in the house for a while, and the girls are texting me and I'm like, I'm just having a moment. Just let me have my moment, And, but I wouldn't say like anybody's like rushing me or putting numbers
You
on
have
it or
amazing
time.
support and
Yeah.
family that we're all there for you,
Yeah.
and your friends. And
Mm-hmm.
what about you, Krisan? Have you ever felt any pressure to grieve in a certain way?
I wouldn't necessarily say pressure to grieve in a certain way. I did take a good 3 months off of work, and just started going back last week. And now that I'm sitting back and kind of evaluating it, I think that might have been too soon. I know that most people don't even get 2 weeks of bereavement leave, and my work has been absolutely amazing with it. I would say that we've got a heck of a village around us.
Yeah.
I mean, between our crazy family and all of our friends, and there are so many people that are grieving TJ that nobody's going to put pressure on us because they know the type of man he was.
Mm-hmm.
And the presence that he had, and everyone loved TJ.
Mm-hmm.
Our situation is a little more unique than most people with how we lost TJ. And when I bring up the question of feeling pressure, I think many people hear you're strong. You'll be strong, right? You'll get through this. And I think the both of you or all of us are fortunate that, you know, we haven't had those messages, or if we have, you guys have your boundaries, you have awareness, you have enough to say, I have people to lean on. And I know I don't have to be strong, right? And that's a message that I would love everybody to hear. You don't have to be strong through this. You need to take it minute by minute sometimes and surround yourself with people that love and care for you to get you through these moments.
I agree. I don't even think it's day by day. It is literally moment by moment, minute by minute.
Yeah, yeah. What has helped you survive? Bigger than baby TJ. Of course, he's probably the number one. He's the number one.
Yeah.
But what's helped you survive the last few months as we go through this?
I think just us coming together and really just
Absolutely.
accepting our situation and just leaning on each other and being there for each other, honestly. Like, I think that's been our biggest support and biggest plus.
And going back to what you said, knowing to just sit with this sometimes, right? Because it could be a minute, it could be a passing moment, it could be a full day. It could be a stay in bed and I don't want to be bothered. And I would love for people to hear that message. When you think about loss, how to care for yourself, others around, most importantly you, others around you, clearly, you know, baby, but what you can do to help you survive, how you can take care of yourself.
I think just showing up for yourself, you know, I mean, I think that's a big thing, you know, just, you know, life does continue on and you need to find a new normal. That's like my big saying is when people say, how are you? You know, I have my ups and downs, but I'm trying to find this new normal for me.
Finding your new normal.
Yeah.
It would, and that's what I was going to ask you guys. People that are listening, that are going through any type of loss, what would you want them to know? What would you want them to see or feel? And it's a great point. It's a sad point. We wish the world would stop, right? And just be in that place and just have that time to ourselves and to grieve. The world doesn't stop.
No.
It keeps moving, finding the new normal. What would you say, Krisan? The way you're grieving and how you're grieving on multiple levels.
That it's okay to feel. You're not a burden to anybody. Sometimes you just need to sit and feel it. Because if you bottle it up, it's just going to hit you like a wave.
Absolutely.
And sometimes you just need to let it out.
Absolutely.
Yep.
It doesn't make you weak.
Nope.
It doesn't make you anything other than a human being who loved another human being. And it's okay.
To sit.
And there's no time limit.
Yeah.
There's no time limit on your pain. You got to go through it.
And there's there's no right way to grieve.
No.
Because we grieve in different ways.
I want to know that. Yeah. What are your how have you been catching yourself or catching each other grieving? What does it look like?
I feel like I listen to TJ's music playlists a lot. In the car. That man loved his music. So I feel like music is one way that I cope with grieving. Sometimes I'll be like, Mom, I need to go to my house, and I'll listen to his playlist on the way there and I'll cry, and then I'll go to my house and I'll put his records on and I'll just be doing house chores and hanging out with my animals and I'll just cry. I have noticed I don't like to grieve in front of other people.
That's how I am too.
I think all of us, right? That's why I'm like, surprised. I'm like, we're going to do a little, podcast episode, and it's hitting all of us, especially me. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm the same way. I think I am a private griever. I don't really do it much in front of people. I think we've had a couple of moments where we've come together and done it. But yeah, and I think for me too, I wonder how people perceive that. Is there a judgment that I could be out with friends and I'm not crying and I'm not getting emotional? but my
It's your way of taking care of
it
yourself.
is.
And,
My emotions like truly come out when I'm by myself.
they're
You know,
for
like
you.
I said, like even over the weekend, you know, just laying with him and sitting with him, like it was an emotional weekend for me, you know?
Yeah.
And I have a lot of those moments with him. And it's
Mhm.
because, you know.
Again, there's two
Mhm.
truths to it: the beauty and the time that you have with him, but then
Yeah.
the grieving that happens.
Yeah.
I love that you said listening to music, because I think that's an example of how people can help go through the journey,
Mhm.
or sometimes make it that much more special or that much easier to keep going, right? We all know the classic throw the blankets over your head and not get out of bed. But to say I need to move around and put some music on, or just listen, and I need to sit with these feelings and have these tears and have these moments.
Yeah.
It looks different. You know, people, I'm sure, understand this if they have gone through it, but what some people don't understand is grief can make you feel really alone. Even if you're surrounded by an amazing family and friends and people that love you, it can make you feel like you're on an island as you go through it.
What was the word that I used the other day? I'm lonely.
Yeah.
And I said that.
Yeah.
Like, because I do have those spouts of like moments where I'm just like, yeah, like I do. I have all these people around me, but in it all,
No one will go through it the way you go through it.
Yeah.
No one will walk this journey like you have.
Yeah. Like I'm not gonna get that, you know, Mother's Day card again, or that phone call again, or, you know, another picture. It's just
The new normal.
Mhm.
And sitting with it.
Yeah.
It's definitely not an easy journey.
Nope.
It's not an easy process, right?
Nope.
Going through it is difficult enough.
Yeah. Yeah.
As you're right here in this moment, what would you say is what's next? Even if what's next is tomorrow or next week. What would you say, what comes to mind when you think about what's next?
For me, my what's next is just I want to do everything with moving forward with intention of, you know, how would TJ do this, or what would TJ want, or, you know, what would make TJ happy? Like, because I truly feel that he's here and that he's watching all of us. And so I want him to be proud. So my moving forward is the intention of what would TJ do, or what would make TJ proud, you know? And then my other thing is I want to start a foundation. I know I talked to you about that, and I want to do it in honor of him for families that have gone, or families who go through this. And I want to do that in honor of him, because I know that's something that he would want, and I want his legacy and him to never die out. And so that's my next.
Keeping him a part of your everyday life
Right.
and moving forward, right? I love the what would TJ do?
Yep, that's our motto.
And anybody that has known TJ, right? He was a big presence, love, energy. He was an amazing person. So to live with that intention, that's special.
Yeah, live like TJ.
Yeah, live like
Just
TJ.
like our bracelets. Yeah, live like TJ.
Krisan, what comes to mind when you think about that? The what's next?
As he starts to wake up.
Well, he's the what's next.
He
right?
is the what's
He's
next.
the what's
yeah.
next.
It's really just, obviously Mom and I have this saying that, what would TJ do, right? How would TJ do this? How would TJ handle this? And I think that that's probably one of the biggest things that's kept me going is, what would TJ do? If TJ were in this situation, how would he go about it? How would he want his son to be raised? How would he want me to continue on in life? How would he want us to be as a family, you know? So I think as far as what's next is keeping him alive and making him proud for the rest of our lives.
And honoring him in those ways and through those questions. I think that's the best way to end this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cheers to TJ.
Cheers
to moving forward.
Yep.
Cheers to having to grieve and going through it in the best way that we can, right? Because it's not easy. And people fear it. We all fear having to grieve. But we're saying cheers to it because we have one another. We know we need boundaries at times. We know it can make us feel alone at times. We know we don't have to stay positive and happy and cheerful through this process. We're going to do it, and we're going to do it the best way we can.
Yeah, and having each other to lean on.
And cheers to little baby TJ as we all look over
Yeah.
and see his beautiful little smile.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys for
It's perfect.
doing this with me and talking about this.
Thank
It's
you.
not an easy topic. I'm glad that we had the space to be able to share a few more moments in the what's next.
And finally grieve together.
And finally agree. I was not prepared for that,
No.
but finally sitting here and having a moment. Thank you, everyone, for listening. This is Living Life with James. I appreciate you sitting and having this space with us.
Want to be a guest on Living Life with James? If you got a story or a message that you feel can inspire or help others, message me through my website or DM me on Instagram. I'd love to connect.